Have you ever locked eyes with an animal and felt something unexplainable pass between you? That moment when you're certain they understood exactly what you were thinking? Science has dismissed these connections as mere instinct or coincidence for centuries, but what if there's something more profound happening, something that exists in the invisible fabric of reality itself? The quantum world doesn't play by our everyday rules. Particles can be connected across vast distances, communicating instantly in ways that defy our understanding of time and space. This isn't science fiction, it's proven quantum entanglement. And here's what's truly mind-blowing. The same quantum processes that baffle our greatest physicists might be happening inside every living cell, including those of animals. Recent discoveries suggest that birds navigate using quantum sensitivity, bees might see quantum fields, and mammals potentially process information through quantum mechanisms in their brains. We're just beginning to understand that animals may be tapping into an invisible quantum network that connects all living things, a network humans have largely forgotten how to access. What if that strange connection you feel with your dog or that wild deer in the forest isn't just your imagination, but you briefly tuning into a quantum conversation that's happening all around us all the time? Join me as we explore the fascinating possibility that animals are speaking to us through the quantum world. We just need to learn how to listen. What if everything we thought we knew about animal communication was just scratching the surface? For centuries, we've believed animals talk through barks, chirps, or body language. But recent discoveries reveal something far more fascinating happening beneath the surface. Something that could completely change how we understand our animal companions. Scientists have uncovered something extraordinary. The quantum world, that bizarre realm of physics where particles can be in two places at once, isn't just happening in laboratories, it's happening inside living creatures, inside animals, right now. And this discovery is our first major revelation about how animals might communicate in ways we never imagined. Let me share something that might blow your mind. We now have solid evidence that birds navigate using quantum processes in their eyes. Think about that. Tiny robins can detect Earth's magnetic field through quantum movements of electrons. Plants use quantum effects to make their food more efficiently. And more recently, scientists have found signs that animal brains might process information using quantum mechanics. This isn't fringe science, it's appearing in respected journals like Nature and Science. Researchers at institutions like MIT and Oxford are confirming that quantum biology is real. The strangest part of physics is happening inside living things all around us. So what does this mean for animal communication? This brings us to point 1 of 6 in our journey. The quantum biology revolution. Animals aren't just using their traditional senses, they're operating as quantum biological systems. When a dog seems to know exactly when you're coming home, or birds suddenly change direction as if controlled by a single mind, they may be tapping into quantum communication networks we're only beginning to understand. These networks operate instantly across distance, unaffected by barriers that block normal sound or scent. This revelation changes everything because it means animals aren't limited to the 5 senses we've always assumed they use. They're potentially connected through an invisible quantum web that operates outside our normal understanding of communication. The implications are enormous. If animals are quantum-enabled beings, every interaction you have with them might be happening on levels far deeper than we've imagined. And that cute head tilt your dog gives you, it might be responding not just to your words but to quantum information your body is emitting without you even realizing it. Have you ever wondered how animals seem to predict earthquakes, tsunamis, or even detect when someone is sick? Traditional science struggles to explain these abilities, but what if there's something more profound at work? Something that connects animals to their environment in ways we're only beginning to comprehend? This brings us to a mind-bending concept in quantum physics called entanglement. When two particles become entangled, they establish an instant connection regardless of distance. What happens to one immediately affects the other, even if they're separated by galaxies. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance because it seemed impossible. Here's where things get truly fascinating. Recent studies suggest that animal cells might maintain quantum coherence, maintaining these quantum states and connections, even at warm body temperatures. This was once thought impossible, but nature seems to have found a way. Consider this stunning possibility. When animals sense disasters before they happen, they might not be detecting subtle physical signals like we've always assumed. Instead, their cells could be quantumly entangled with environmental systems, giving them instant access to information that hasn't even reached us through conventional means. This brings us to point 2 of 6, the entanglement theory of animal intuition. Your pet's cells may be entangled with environmental quantum fields in ways human perception typically misses. Research at universities like Princeton and Tokyo has shown that certain animals respond to events before any conventional signals could have reached them. Dogs detecting cancer, elephants moving to higher ground before tsunamis, or birds changing behavior before earthquakes. These behaviors suggest access to information that bypasses normal sensory channels. Even more remarkably, studies with pairs of animals separated by distance have shown synchronized responses that can't be explained by chance. Their bodies react simultaneously as if they remain connected despite physical separation, exactly what quantum entanglement would predict. What this means for you is, well, pretty profound. That deep connection you feel with your pet isn't just emotional. It could actually be operating on the quantum level. Your dog doesn't just understand your words or body language. Its cells might be entangled with yours in ways science is only beginning to unravel. This isn't mystical thinking, it's cutting-edge science suggesting that animals operate as natural quantum detectors, accessing a layer of reality that human consciousness typically filters out. And the next time your pet stares intensely at you, just remember, it might be observing far more than just your physical appearance. What if animals are constantly talking all around us, but we've actually been deaf to their most important conversations? While we've been focused on barks, chirps, and growls, we've missed something extraordinary happening in plain sight, a hidden language of energy that connects all living things. Every living cell generates electrical fields. Now this isn't spiritual talk, it's measurable biology. Your heart actually creates electrical fields strong enough to detect several feet away. Your brain emits electrical patterns we can map with EEG machines. But here's what's really revolutionary. These bioelectric fields don't just sit there, they interact with quantum processes. Recent research has revealed something pretty astonishing. Many animal species deliberately generate coherent electromagnetic fields. Dolphins produce highly structured bioelectric patterns when they're communicating. Bees create organized field patterns within their hives. Even plants generate measurable bioelectric signals when they're threatened. This brings us to point 3 of 6, bioelectric language beyond sound. Animals may be speaking through bioelectric fields that interact with quantum processes, a conversation happening in wavelengths we're not equipped to naturally perceive. Scientists at institutions like UCSD and Berlin's Max Planck Institute have measured these coherent fields using sensitive equipment called squids, that's superconducting quantum interference devices. These tools detect the subtle quantum effects produced by living systems, revealing patterns that are just too organized to be random noise. The implications are enormous. When your cat purrs while sitting on your chest, it might be doing more than seeking warmth. It could be synchronizing its bioelectric field with yours. The feeling of calm you experience might result from actual bioelectric communication happening between your bodies. Here's something practical you can try. A simple meditation technique to heighten your sensitivity to animal biofields. Find a quiet space with your pet. Close your eyes and focus on your breathing for about 2 minutes, then place your hands near, but not touching, your pet. Notice any tingling, warmth, or pressure sensations. With practice, many people report increased sensitivity to these subtle energy exchanges. The most exciting part? This isn't pseudoscience, it's emerging biology that combines quantum physics with our understanding of living systems. Animals aren't just making sounds, they're broadcasting complex bioelectric signals that interact with quantum fields to transmit information instantly across space. This hidden language might explain why being around certain animals feels so therapeutic. Their bioelectric fields could be harmonizing with yours, creating measurable changes in your nervous system. The next time you feel that unexplainable connection with an animal, remember? You might be experiencing real bioelectric communication. Have you ever noticed how indigenous cultures seem to have deeper connections with animals? And you know, how our ancestors appeared more attuned to the natural world? What if this wasn't just romantic thinking, but actually evidence of a sensory ability we've gradually lost, a kind of sixth sense that once connected us directly to the quantum world of animals? Archaeological findings across continents reveal something fascinating. Ancient cave paintings don't just show animals, they often depict invisible energy fields around them. Indigenous shamans across cultures independently developed similar practices for listening to animals without sound. Were they accessing something real that we've forgotten how to perceive? The evidence suggests something remarkable. Humans may once have been far more sensitive to quantum biological signals. Brain structures associated with non-visual perception are actually more developed in ancient human skulls than in modern ones. Traditional cultures worldwide describe similar techniques for perceiving animal energies that, interestingly, match what modern quantum biology is discovering. This brings us to point 4 of 6, the forgotten human quantum sense. Our ancestors may have been more attuned to quantum biological signals, and honestly, we can reawaken this dormant ability. This explains those moments when you somehow know exactly what your pet needs, or when an animal responds to your unspoken thoughts. You're not imagining it, you're experiencing quantum communication. The most exciting part? I've developed what I call the frequency matching method, a practical approach anyone can use to consciously establish these quantum bridges with animals. It works in 3 simple steps. First, practice what neuroscientists call open presence, a state where you're fully present but not focused on any specific thought. This creates the neural conditions necessary for quantum coherence. Second, gently bring your attention to the animal while maintaining this open state, imagining your awareness extending toward them like an invisible beam. Finally, pay attention to any spontaneous thoughts or feelings that arise. These are often the first signs of quantum information exchange. With regular practice, most people report dramatic improvements in animal communication within just weeks. Dogs respond to unspoken commands. Cats become more responsive. Even wildlife begins to react differently to your presence. But there's an important ethical dimension here. These quantum bridges create real connections that deserve respect. Animals may share more than you expect once these channels open, and their trust should never be exploited. Always approach quantum communication with genuine care for the animal's well-being. The implications are profound. If humans and animals can establish direct quantum communication channels, every interaction becomes an opportunity for deeper understanding. That powerful bond you feel with certain animals isn't just emotional. It's an actual quantum bridge forming between your consciousness and theirs. By learning to consciously develop these quantum pathways, we open doorways to communication that bypasses the limitations of human language. And that feeling of profound connection when an animal looks deeply into your eyes, that might be the sensation of your quantum bridge forming, a direct link between minds that science is only beginning to understand. What if the key to saving Earth's endangered species isn't just about protecting their habitats, but about understanding their roles in nature's quantum network? This final revelation might not just change how you see animals, it could transform how humanity approaches conservation forever. Recent studies from universities like Stanford and Berlin's Max Planck Institute have revealed something remarkable. Ecosystems may function as vast quantum networks, with each species playing a unique role in maintaining coherence across the system. When species disappear, these networks don't just lose members, they can experience quantum decoherence, a breakdown in the invisible connections that maintain the whole. This brings us to our 6th and final point, wildlife conservation through quantum understanding. By recognizing animals as essential nodes in Earth's quantum biological network, we gain powerful new tools for protecting biodiversity. Consider this stunning possibility. When elephants communicate through infrasound over miles or whales sing across oceans, they may be doing more than exchanging information. They could be maintaining quantum coherence across vast ecosystems. These keystone species might function as quantum anchors, synchronizing biological processes across thousands of square miles. The implications for conservation are, well, honestly, revolutionary. When we lose species like wolves or whales, we're not just losing beautiful animals. We may be breaking critical links in Earth's quantum biological network. This could explain why some ecosystems collapse entirely after losing just a few key species. The quantum bridges between remaining organisms just can't sustain coherence without these critical nodes. But here's the hopeful part. Understanding quantum biology gives us new strategies for conservation. By identifying which species serve as quantum network hubs, we can prioritize their protection. By measuring quantum coherence in ecosystems, we can detect problems before visible symptoms appear. And by restoring quantum connections through strategic reintroductions, we can heal damaged environments more effectively. You can participate in this quantum revolution right now. Citizen science projects like QBioNet and quantum ecosystem mapping are collecting data on potential quantum biological phenomena worldwide. Using just your smartphone and simple observation techniques, you can help scientists identify patterns of synchronized behavior that might indicate quantum coherence in local wildlife. Even in your backyard, you can create quantum-friendly spaces by reducing electromagnetic interference, providing shelter for diverse species, and observing patterns of coordinated behavior among insects, birds, or plants. These microhabitats could serve as crucial quantum nodes in fragmented landscapes. The most profound realization is this: if all living things are connected through quantum networks, then conservation isn't just about saving other species, it's about preserving the invisible quantum web that sustains all life, including humans. We're not separate from this system, we're integral nodes within it. By understanding animals as quantum beings, not just physical creatures but participants in a vast quantum information network, we gain a powerful new perspective on conservation. And, that strange feeling of connection you get when watching wild animals? That might be your own quantum awareness recognizing your place in this greater network. As we've explored the quantum world of animal communication, from the revolutionary science of quantum biology to the practical methods for enhancing our own quantum perception, one thing becomes clear. We're standing at the threshold of a profound shift in our relationship with the living world around us. The 6 quantum insights we've covered aren't just fascinating science, they offer a new way of understanding our place in nature. Every living thing, from the tiniest insect to the largest whale, may be connected through quantum fields that operate beyond our conventional understanding of space and time. By recognizing animals as quantum beings, not just physical creatures governed by instinct, but conscious participants in a vast quantum network, we open ourselves to connections that have always existed but remained invisible to our conditioned perception. Remember, this journey doesn't end with knowledge, it begins with practice. Try the quantum quieting protocol and the frequency matching method. Participate in citizen science efforts. Create quantum-friendly spaces in your own environment. Each step you take builds stronger quantum bridges between yourself and the animals sharing our world. The question is no longer whether animals speak through the quantum world. The evidence suggests they do. The real question is, are we ready to listen? The quantum conversation has been happening all around us throughout our evolution. Perhaps it's time we rejoin this ancient dialogue and rediscover our place in the quantum symphony of life.